War Eagle Auburn fans, and welcome back to the E2C Network Live edition. Here on YouTube, we appreciate you guys watching, whether you are here live or on the replay. We appreciate you being here and just spending a few minutes maybe, or even the full time with us to just hang out and talk about what's going on in the world of the Auburn family spectrum. Tonight's show is the live call-in fan chat, whatever you want to call it. Basically, it is off the wall, and it is whatever you want to talk about. So if you want to discuss potentially, something about Auburn football, if you want to talk about Auburn food, honestly, we could talk about other things as well if you're interested in them. But it's pretty fair game. You just kind of come in here, hang out, and say hello. And definitely. Just kind of have some fun with us here. Before we get started, I don't have the cue cards to bring up for you, but I want to draw your attention to a couple of things tonight. This is a call-in show. The call-in number, it's not a number, it's a link you have to click, and it's really easy. You can either be on camera or off, I believe. You can call in on that. When you do call in, it will be down in the bottom of my screen. If I haven't come to you yet, that means there's either something I'm having to hold up on. So if you see yourself waiting in the green room, so to speak, just be patient. We'll get to you as soon as we can. If you want to help support the content that we do here, a couple of ways you can do that. Check out the links in the description. There are ways you can support us through the Booster Club, which is $1 a month is all it takes to help support the content we do here. TeePublic, I got an announcement for that in just a second. And also, there's PayPal, and what was the other thing I forgot? Oh, just listening and hitting that like button if you enjoy this type of content, and subscribing as well. Another announcement for that is as soon as we kind of get into things here, something that I really want to kind of make you guys aware of and push for you going forward. Would y'all like an announcement to start off with? We've got about a pretty decent amount calling in right now, or not calling in, but watching right now. I see Neil White's here. He wants Dustbuster to call in. Neil, I got something for you here in a second. Casey is doing what everybody should be doing, posting where you're watching from, city, state, international, and saying War Eagle. So there you go. Justin, were you impatient, buddy? Listen, it is a one-man operation here, and I do my best to be on time, and sometimes technical difficulties and all that keep me from getting on here. But I'm excited that you were very, very excited that we were going to be on tonight. Would love to hear your take on the Supreme Court NCAA ruling. Let's talk about that. I think that's a great overarching topic to talk about college athletics as a whole, but also to talk about Auburn stuff as well. I do want to make an announcement that I do think that will be very important. Actually, you know what? Let's take a call real quick, because I've got someone calling in, and I know he's been waiting for a very long time. So let me do that real quick. I think this is Justin. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Justin, this is your second time in a row calling onto the show. How are you doing? How are you doing, my man?
Pretty good. If better hurry up and get cold.
It'll hurry up and get cold. Well, you got a little bit of time before it gets cold again, buddy. I actually enjoy summer better than everything because it's just, there's a lot going on. I love summertime and all that kind of stuff. So you want it to be cold. You're ready for fall, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is it because of football, Auburn football? Is that why?
Yeah.
I figured as much. So what else is on your mind this week, my man?
Just calling to see how you was doing.
I got very few complaints for most part. I mean, I think there's always something to complain about, to be honest with you. But I can't really think of too many things that I don't have better off than other people out there. So I should be thankful for what I have. What you think about the football team? Any new insight that you can give us?
I think they're going to do pretty good.
Yeah, I think so as well. I really think so too.
Did you hear about the new coach and what it was?
I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. Can you give me a little bit more?
Not really.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm sure that if there's a new coach out there for somebody, they obviously made the best choice they could. Thankfully, we've got our coaching situation settled. For the most part, it thinks. I think maybe you're.
What?
Have you got an idea, or what was that being said there in the background?
I was talking to my dad. I think he's watching too.
Oh, okay, good, awesome. Well, I'm really glad that you guys have been waiting all day for this. That makes me feel honored that you would be willing to spend some time here and just hang out with us a little bit. All right, my man. Well, I think we're going to move on to some of these topics and questions here, but keep tuned in and we'll keep talking about some topics maybe you'll have some interest in.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Justin. Thanks for tuning in.
All right.
Bye.
You're welcome.
All right. So it's Justin. That's his second time calling in. And his dad, Robert, has also called in before. So we appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with us just a little bit. All right, so let's do this. I want to start off with, I know you guys have been patient here to get things going here. Jacksonville, Alabama, already calling in. Nice. Florence from Robert. Yep. We got a lot of people checking in from all across Alabama. Maybe we'll have some more pop in here. Neil, this is for you, my man. How many people have wondered and asked, would there be something related to War Dustbuster coming out? Several of you reached out and asked, could I create a t-shirt? It may not be good, but my friends, I'm about to show you the War Dustbuster t-shirt. There it is on TeePublic. So if you want to go buy that, it's on sale right now. I created it for you. For those who don't know what that is, probably one of the first like call-in shows we ever did. A guy made some weird, really off-color joke about something a Dustbuster, and it's been a running joke ever since. So if you want it, you asked for it. There it is. That's for you, Neil. Even if you don't want to go get it, that I just wanted to create it just so that you could have a, have a laugh with that. So that's a minor announcement right there. We'll do another one in a little bit, maybe about a little contest we're going to be doing that you may want to, that a lot of you that are subscribed will also be interested in. Weird is an understatement. Yes, it was. I'm trying to be polite here, Neil, with it tonight. All right, let's go all the way back to the Supreme Court ruling that Neil asked about at the start of the show. And by the way, you can call in and talk about this if you'd like to. Kind of hunkering down on this topic for just a second. So don't be shy. The link's up at the top of the chat window if you do want to click and call in. If I have this correct, and please, you all in the chat kind of correct me where I'm wrong. Essentially, an easy way to say it is that the Supreme Court of the United States slam dunked on the NCAA. Essentially, basically telling them they needed to provide more educational services to their student athletes, comparing their business model to much of a monopoly and things like that. There's a lot of technical jargon that I am not privy to, that I am not well versed on, that I'm going to butcher. But essentially what it is that the Supreme Court has made it easier for athletes to receive educational benefits, such as a laptop. I think it's not limiting internships that they can do or having that count against them or something like that. And there's also the image and likeness thing that's been out there as well. So we're seeing the next steps of the evolution of what the college athletic universe is going to be like. And I think there's a lot of hot opinions about it. And I don't know that there's one right answer. Roderick, if you look at the very top of the chat window, and actually here I can do this too for you, my man. There is a link you can click. It's not a number. You just click it. And right here, I'm going to put it in under the E2C network. You'll see it pop up there. And then you can call in. It'll put you in the green room. And as soon as I have a chance to pop you in, I can, if you'd like to call in. Thanks for that, Robert. Let's see what else. I can't remember which justice said this, what the NCAA doing would be illegal in the business world. I think it was Justice Kavanaugh. I think Justice Gorsuch is the one that kind of spoke for all of them for their unanimous decision. But I think they all gave commentary on what they thought the NCAA was doing here. And yeah, it's definitely a major blow to NCAA in terms of what their business model is and how it will go going forward. Here's my take on it. Again, I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer to this, but I do think that there are some ways that we can make life a little bit better for some of the student athletes. The problem is that people take advantage of every time you give a little bit. And that's just the nature of, being human. People are, I know probably everybody didn't agree with this. People are inherently evil and they will do what suits them best. So is it right to maybe find ways to make life a little bit easier for some of the student athletes because of the time they commit to doing this and how much they bring into the university and stuff like that? Sure. In logical sense, yes. Now there is the flip side argument to this as well. And we've actually seen a lot of people come on in our social media and everything, commenting like this and saying this will be the death of college athletics or college football. And I wouldn't go so far as to say the death of college football, but I would say it will change it forever. And in some ways, not in a good way. But unfortunately, that's kind of the way that the tide is turning. Ooh, that was a bad phrase to use for this type of topic. So what do you all think about it? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? My take is always this. Anything that gives the student athletes preferential treatment over another student, I would disagree with. And that's kind of why I tend to side more with the universities or side more with the NCAA. Now, don't get me wrong. NCAA has done Auburn wrong several times. I am no fan of the NCAA, but I definitely think this is, I don't particularly like the decision. Not because it helps the NCAA, because it hurt the NCAA, but because of what it could mean for college football. But I kind of understand it too. We're in a real rock and a hard place here with what you do. Justin, did you hear about the new Auburn coach? I think that's what you were asking. I'm not sure which one that is. So you're going to have to give me a little bit more specifics on that one. If anybody else knows, help him out there. I have no love for the NCAA. They've made life HE double hockey sticks for some universities, all while botching others see UNC. No entity is perfect. I am restraining from saying something right now that I'm going through personally, but I don't know. It's one of those things where I just don't like where college athletics will be heading, but it may be a necessary evil. But here's the main thing that you need to take away from this. Once you open Pandora's box, you can't put it back in there. Is it worth it opening this box further? I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at on it. Now watching the NCAA literally get dunked on, and what I mean by that is just kind of told, you could stick it wherever by, the Supreme Court of the entire country, is funny in and of its essence, but it is. Here, let me bring something up. How many of you out there are going to buy season tickets for, I'm just raising my hand for demonstration. I know you can't raise your hand because you're not on video. Yes, no. Will you buy season tickets? If you can, why not? Why or why not? But quick poll of the room, yes or no to season tickets. They are available right now. And I did a video about that this week, and I hope some of you had a chance to see it. But, I'm not affiliated with the university in any way. I get nothing for this. I know it sounds like a pitch, but I'm honestly debating on buying season tickets this year. And I'm not someone that's super hopeful about where this season's going to go, but I can't ignore, where it's going, in terms of like some of the hype that'll be there potentially. Casey says going to the Mississippi State game. So do you already have a ticket, or is that just like, I'm going, I'll get a ticket? I will make a case for this, and I'm going to make another video, probably going to be a little while for that, kind of breaking down my rankings for the top home games, maybe even the top away games for this season to attend. Obviously the Iron Bowl is number one, and I don't know of a situation where it wouldn't be number one, but I think you'd be pretty interested to hear where Mississippi and Mississippi State fall into my opinion of a good game, because let's be honest, they've got some interesting coaches there and some interesting offensive schemes. And can our defense, which looks very talented, how talented we'll find out, withstand some of that attack they have there? Robert says he would if he could. I'm kind of in that same boat with you. I can. Should I, though? That's what I'm kind of trying to, bounce through here. I'll be moving to Atlanta next couple weeks. Can't wait to see Auburn games. Yeah. So what market are you coming from, McGrady? Were you not in a market for Auburn? I actually live outside of Atlanta now, and obviously with the SEC network, we get all the games here, and it's where I live in Atlanta. It's about, depends on traffic, 2 hours to Auburn. Not a bad drive if you didn't have to deal with some of the center of Atlanta traffic, but we'll see. Sports Record, I got tickets for the first 4 home games. So that means you're there for Akron, Alabama State, Georgia State, and Georgia. Is that correct? That's not a bad deal. Coach Harson's first game. What I would argue is probably not as bad a game to go to as you think it is. If you love halftime shows, go to the Alabama State game. Georgia State. And then you've got Georgia. That's not bad, though. Can make it a sweep of Georgia in those 2 games. Roderick, are you officially going to Happy Valley? Because if you are, my man, I am super jealous. Super jealous. I really wish I could go to Happy Valley this year. We are going to be taking an anniversary trip that week, and we'll be just getting back. And I just don't know that my body can handle getting back on another plane because I ain't driving that, especially after traveling the way I'm going to be traveling. I said for years when I knew this game was scheduled that I was going to plant my seat and my butt in that seat, and it's just not going to work out. Yes, Neil knows the distances. 2 hours from East Cobb, roughly where I am. Always been an Auburn fan, but just not near the area. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're going to be a lot closer. It means that you can get there a little bit more often, potentially. Neil, good point. Georgia State beat UT a few years ago, but who hasn't? Auburn's even beaten them one less time than they should have, but that's besides the point here. I'd love to go, but don't have the money. I understand that, man. I really, really do. I understand that a lot. All right. Looks like we got another caller coming in. We will pop on over here and see who we got. It's just a caller. What's going on? Who am I talking to?
Oh, this is Jared. How you doing, buddy?
Jared, what's going on, my man? What's on your mind?
Oh, man, a lot, especially coming into this season with the new coach and everything, man. But my main concern right now is the quarterback situation. Who do y'all got in mind, man?
Well, I don't know if you saw our video that we did this past week, kind of breaking down chances. I'll kind of talk to you on that way, because I think that's the best way to break down my thought process on it. I'm giving Bo Nix a 65% chance of winning the starting job. And all this is out of 100, obviously. I think I gave TJ Finley 25% chance, and I guess that leaves 10% if I'm doing quick math in my head left for Demetrius Davis. The short answer is, I know people don't like this answer, but Bo he is the best quarterback that we have available currently. That doesn't mean that won't change, especially in fall practice. But that's kind of where I'm sitting, that I think Bo is going to, I'm not going to step out like a lot of people and say he's going to have a breakout year. Do I think he'll have a better year? Yeah. Let's be honest. He didn't have a great year last year, so that's easier to do. So that's kind of where I'm sitting at. I love Bo. I think he's a great leader, and I think he's got the talent. Can Harsin put it all together? That's the big question.
Yeah, that's very true, man. I really love the answer, man, and I appreciate you letting me get on your show and everything, buddy. You have a good night, War Eagle.
War Eagle, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
All right, you too, man. Great question. Great question. I think, one of the big things with this whole quarterback situation is everybody's got to remember that people see your comments online. And I'm not singling anybody out in particular, but, I always try to approach it as, would you want, would you be willing to say what you say online about these quarterbacks or these other players just in general, or even coaches, to their face? If you wouldn't, it's probably not a good thing to say. I love the passion. I love the energy and wanting Auburn to be better. But I think a lot of people are going to have to be okay with Bo Nix being the quarterback. And that's not a bad thing. Doesn't mean it'll be the best thing at the end of the season, but Bo's got a lot of talent and a lot of leadership skills that are hard to beat. If you haven't watched that video, I know I keep plugging the video, but if you haven't watched that video after this live stream, go over there and check that out. I really break down my thoughts in a little bit more detail as to why I gave them a percentage chance. I think TJ Finley's got a shot at taking the job, but he's got a hill to climb, in my opinion, personally. Georgia tickets was the higher ones, I bet. So think about it this way, Cord. This is the first Georgia game in the new schedule, like actually in the stadium. So it's going to be a hot ticket. Unless, was Georgia there last year? No, they weren't. Think about that for a second. But this is the first time this new rotation with Georgia is going to be in a real season, a pandemic year. Coach Harson's first year. It's going to be hot. Those ticket prices are soaring, especially for games like that. That's social media for you. It turned people into complete morons. Well, and you know, I love social media. I love having fun on social media. I just think people forget there's a person on the other side. It's really what it is. Every once in a while, we get an interesting fan from another fan base popping in. Go Chiefs. All right. No, I'm just kidding, man. I appreciate you messaging and saying go Chiefs. I got no qualms with the Chiefs, like the quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. They even had D Ford for a little while, our defensive end. So no qualms there. Clint, butt of hands. Yes. Thank you for reminding me that I am a butt of hands forever and always. $222. Jeez. Man. Okay. Well, Kyle may not be going to the Georgia game. Let me clear this up. I want you guys to kind of know what we do during a normal season. Barring scheduling conflicts for me, I am always on campus from the very start of the day till pretty much the end of the day. I love taking in the whole of the Auburn experience, and I love sharing it with you guys. So on social media, you know what? I'll make the plug here in just a second, and let me do that. I hope you'll indulge me for just a second. But there's something more I want to do for you guys while I'm on campus, but we're going to need a little help from all of you. But that's what I'm going to be doing a lot. Yeah, Neil, that's what I want to know too, for which seats. That's probably seats to get in. Oh, Sam, that was your other account. Now we understand. You got a lot of teams, my man. All right, Roderick's calling in. Let's check in with him. Roderick, my man, what is going on?
Hey, War Eagle, man.
War Eagle. Thanks for calling in. What you got on your mind?
I'm like most Auburn fans. I'm just excited about the season coming up, and I think I don't know. I feel like that we're gonna do something. I just have that. I've been an Auburn fan for over 30 years.
Yeah.
So I just feel like this is kind of the year where people are kind of overlooking us right now.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to surprise a lot of people. I think the first surprise is going to be, of course, us getting Georgia early.
Yeah.
And we should have got them last year, but we had a
few issues.
Yeah. But I think I like Harson's style, his hard-nosed approach to the game, no nonsense. I think we kind of gotten away from that. With this past administration, I think we kind of got away from Auburn being Auburn,
Gotcha.
And I think I feel like, I don't know, I'm getting that feeling, that 2010 feeling. I think it's going to be a special year.
All right, well, I'm gonna put your feet to the fire here. If you're feeling that good about it, you got to drop me a prediction then.
First big shocker, of course, the Georgia game, but us going to Happy Valley and winning. I'd say we beat them 35-17.
Okay.
That
is a step out, but I love that.
Yeah, I think we put people on notice. We're going in that game with, after beating Georgia and stuff. And I think we're going into that game on cloud nine and really put it to the Nittany Lions.
Yeah. So here's where I'm at with the whole Penn State upset. When I would personally, and this is just me, consider it an upset if it happens in Happy Valley because it's on their home turf. We're coming off of a little out of a valley, so to speak.
Sure.
I kind of operate if there's kind of almost a push situation for me here where it could go either way. And I always tend, for my own sanity, and I know that's selfish of me, to just go ahead and expect the loss so that when it happens, I don't lose my mind. But when it does go our way, I'm over the moon because I was a little bit shocked by it. So I'll say this. I'm more hopeful for the Penn State upset than I was in January. And I think I agree with you. As you know, we have a tendency to get really excited as the season gets closer, regardless. But there's a new breath in the air. I think you've been here long enough to know I was a huge Gus Malzahn fan. I don't think they made the right decision to get rid of him. Doesn't mean that I'm not a super fan of Brian. And so
he had a great system. He injected some new ideas into our program at that time. And but I think the game caught up with him.
It's probably true.
I really do. I really think the game caught up with him. But going back to Harsin, I think Harsin is kind of gonna take us back to that old beating people at the line of scrimmage and being very physical and playing Auburn, blue collar football.
Do you think he compares more to Shug Jordan or to Pat Dye?
I would say Pat Dye.
That's probably what I would lean as well. Obviously, I know my hairline's receding, but I'm not that old. So
I don't but I remember Pat Dye though. Great.
So I actually was very young when Pat Dye was coach, so I have very few memories of that, if any. But the thing I think when I asked that question, they both had that same type of style. I think Pat, in a good way, was more hard nosed, whereas Shug was more of the gentle giant. You didn't cross Shug, but you knew this with Pat too. There was just a different way they carried themselves, in my opinion. So I agree with you. I think Harsin's more of the, not so much a gentle giant, but a more in your face. I love you enough to tell you I'm not happy with you, and that's kind of what I feel like.
Right. But Bo Jackson said something about Pat Dye. I think it may have been on 30 for 30 or something like that. But he said that the practices were harder than the games.
Yeah,
and I think that may be what's happening at Auburn. I don't know. I'm in Jacksonville, Alabama, so I don't know what's going on down there. But I'm thinking from the body language, I think that practices are very, very tough, and it's just getting used to the new regime coming in and doing things their way. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I get that, and I would want the regime, whoever it is that came in, to almost push them more, because I want to know who wants to be here or not, and who is still stuck with the old team. As much as I love the old coaching staff and that old mentality, and I agreed with it, I don't want dissension on my team. I don't want teams that aren't sold out to what Coach Harsin's doing, because that doesn't help us any. That time is done, and you've got to figure out. I would much rather than push them to the absolute limit and decide who wants to be here. So I love that. I love that perspective.
Absolutely. Me too. I'm a new caller and everything, but I've been, like I said, I've been an Auburn fan for a long time, and
awesome.
I wanted to. I just wanted to call in.
Please do. Yeah.
And let it. Hey, it's not all doom and gloom. I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay. People are on that kid. Bo Nix, but actually Bo is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
And Harsin, with his ability and just from the things I've heard about him and quarterbacks, I think he may be the key to fix some of the things that Bo struggled with.
Yeah.
Last year. And so I think we may be a different animal this year. We may be I'm gonna say top 10. I don't know.
That's a bit of a step out. I love it though. I will take optimism over doom and gloom and destruction. So, what I do love that you said though is that well, at least you were referencing this. Being an Auburn fan is a lot like this.
Yeah,
it's a roller coaster ride. We're definitely down here. Only place to go is up. Just so we could be reaching the top of the hill, or starting to climb the hill, as I guess is what you say. And it's going to get a little bit. The view's going to get a little bit better. You'll get a little bit more exciting, and we'll see how high we go.
We'll see. We'll see. War Eagle.
Hey, War Eagle Roger, please do call in again, man.
Definitely. Definitely.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. It's 3 callers tonight. You can call in too. All right. Let me back up here, catch up on some of y'all's comments and go over some of that. I know we might be some retread of what we were talking about, but I do want to try to do my best to kind of get all you in here, because I mean this from the bottom of my heart. It means so much that y'all would be here and just commenting or even tuning in for half a second. So let me catch up on some of that here. Oh, let's see. So earlier, Sports with Cord was talking about how pricey the Georgia game was. And he was saying $222. And I think Neil was asking, where is that located for that price? Lower North End 60. Not shocked at that. Actually, I'm surprised it's not more at this point. Let's see. Sam says a prediction of 8-4. That's kind of where I'm sitting at this moment. Open to us doing better than that. In fact, I hope for it. But that's kind of where I'm sitting at this moment. Auburn will upset someone this year, but who will it be? Auburn football hasn't been hard-nosed since Pat Dye missed those days. I would disagree just a little bit, Neil, and say that Tommy Tuberville had us in that direction. And if it hadn't been for a interesting administration, we might still be in the Tommy Tuberville era. I'm not saying he was perfect, but I liked me some Tommy T. Jeremy Johnson was named the quarterback coach at Carver High School in Montgomery. Oh, well, if you'll remember, James, and I think you probably know this too, for those who don't, he came from Carver. He was Mr. Football. I was super excited for Jeremy. It's one of the biggest tragedies personally in my life that Jeremy never worked out, because loved the kid in terms of just, the way he carried himself. And, I'm not saying he was a perfect kid or anything like that, but I was super excited for him. And he came on with such promise, and it wasn't just like potential. He had showed it in stepping in for Nick Marshall while he was suspended, and it just fell off. I don't know. And a lot of people will say we didn't develop quarterbacks. You might have a better point in some areas. One of those areas that you're not going to make any headway with me on is with Jeremy Johnson. Something happened. Something just did not happen with Jeremy Johnson. And I'm only saying that just as an opinion. And if he were to see this, I hope he doesn't take offense to that, but it just didn't work out. It had nothing to do with development, in my opinion. Let's see. We got some interesting comments going on in the chat. We're just going to blow right past those. Success will go through the quarterback play. Yeah. In a year where your offensive line is still improving, I will disagree with you a little bit. That'll go through the offensive line first, but I understand what you're saying. But where your offensive line is going to be struggling, you have a young, unproven, and I will maintain this, unproven wide receiver core. Quarterback is going to be what makes the difference. Rodney says, what's up from Bruton? Hey, Rodney, I heard that there was some big tornado damage in Bruton, Alabama. Is that true? And if so, I am very, very sorry for everybody who is in Bruton right now, if that's the case. I thought I had overheard that. If that's true, I hope you are okay and that your loved ones are okay. Oh, see, Roderick agrees with me. Tommy T was hard-nosed. Maybe not as much as Pat. He had that spirit, though. Sounded like my granddad when talking. I never thought of Tommy as a granddad, even now. Maybe though. Frustrated by he's going to be a wide receiver coach at Oak Mountain. I'm disappointed. Which one are we talking about here? Did I miss something a little bit earlier? I think I might have. Excuse me. How do you go 13-0 in the SEC West, number 1 defense in the country, and didn't play for a national championship? I don't know. reasons. That's why. That's the reasons. Jeremy Johnson was overhyped by the media. I saw him play in person in 2013. He was really good when Gus put him in, had a cannon for an arm. I'm not sure what happened in 2015. I think sometimes okay, think about it this way. I'll disagree that he was overhyped. I think you come into a situation, no pressure. Think about it. His first legitimate start instead of Nick Marshall. He knows that someone is going to be there. Casey, I see you're calling in. I'll get to you in just a second. He knows that someone is going to be there to take this over. No pressure whatsoever. When it's all on you, that's a different story. And sometimes that hurts players in a bad way, that it did with Jeremy Johnson. Casey, what is going on? How are you doing? Casey, we can barely hear you.
What's up, my man?
How are you doing?
What's up?
Hey, I'm doing good. What's up with you? You got a lot of fuzziness in the background. Hey, Casey.
Like static?
Hey, Casey, I'm not sure if you can hear me. I cannot hear you. Try to call back in one time. I'm going to remove you from the call, but try to call back in. Sorry about that. Sometimes the connection just doesn't work, but try back, Casey. Let's see here. Team was an NFL team. Let's see. Oh, his neighborhood got wiped out. Are you okay though, Rodney? I hope you're okay. That's tough right there. Casey calling in from some bushes. It sounded like it, but connections just don't work sometimes. So Casey, please do call back in if you can. I definitely want to try to get you on if I can. Paul Feinbaum said Jeremy Johnson would be a household name. Muschamp said he could throw a ball through a car wash perfectly, whatever that means. He was overhyped. Neil, I'm still going to disagree with you. I don't think he was overhyped. I think he crumbled under the pressure. Now, if we want to say that means he's overhyped, sure. I just think that's really what it is. Some people just can't take it. All right, Casey, we're going to try one more time. Let me bring Casey in. Still sounds bad, Casey. Give me a little bit of something so we can see if we can hear you.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I know you're trying. I know it's probably not your fault, but War Eagle, what you got for me? Give me a question real quick.
I want to talk about some basketball.
You do? All right. What you got? What's your question about basketball?
I'm thinking we have a soccer win that champion, and I like him.
Oh, Casey, I am so sorry. We cannot hear you. I mean, I don't know if the listeners can hear you, but I can't. I am so sorry. I don't know if it's the connectioning. We'll have to try again another time. I'm so sorry, Casey. But Casey did want to talk about basketball. Now, a lot of people will know, and maybe this is what Casey was maybe wanting to talk about. I don't know. I'm just guessing. We did lose Sage, Tella, something. The center who is committed to Bruce Pearl way back. Here's my thing. I don't like it when recruits commit super early. To me, it just sets us up for disappointment. And how can you really make your mind up in that time? Was I surprised that it happened when it did? Yes. But was I shocked that a kid who committed super early decided to open up his commitment? Yes, I was. He's also looking at who came to Auburn at center. Walker Kessler. Now, Walker, if he has a great year, could be one and done. You don't know, though. So there's a risk there. I would imagine he's the type of talent that when he comes in, he wants to be the start. He wants to be the man at that position. He's calling in from some kind of front line of war. I don't know what it was, but it was something else. Casey, again, if you're there, I'm so sorry we couldn't get you on. We'll have to keep trying another night. What's up, man? How are you doing, Corey? Thanks for being here. Let's see. I want to make this announcement that I was going to make, but let me catch up on this. We're projected to not be ranked, though I kind of like that, though, because Auburn plays best when their back's against the wall. Isn't that frustrating, though? It's true. Every time. Every single time. Our back's against the wall, we respond. But when we are in the limelight, we struggle a little bit. Maybe that's just the Auburn way. In some weird, sick way, I kind of like it. All right, keep your comments and questions going. Let me make this announcement because I think we've got a great group here that I want to make you aware of. So most of you, I believe, are already subscribed. If you're not, what are you doing? Please do subscribe. Make sure the notification bell is marked so you know when we go live, because I do go do live streams other than this one. A lot. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. When I can. But also, we do some other videos and stuff that you don't want to miss. All right, I'm going to make the announcement. Casey, it's the last time we're going to be able to try tonight, my man. Casey?
All right.
You there, man? What's up? Third time's a charm, maybe?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, all right.
Hopefully.
So you might want to try to get your question in real quick to me because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to hear you. I'm so sorry, Casey. All right. Again, I wish I could make that work for you. We'll just have to try another night. But 3 times it wasn't able to work. All right. So here's the announcement. Not eventually, I shouldn't say it that way. Soon, I'm going to be putting out a video with a contest. And I know this is going to be like pluggy and some of you may not be interested, but I'm going to share it here. 1,000 subscribers is drawing very close. We're still a bit away from it, but we're going to do a contest at the 1,000th mark, which will give away this item. I don't want to sit here and say this is the best item ever. It will involve an autograph. But if you all can help us get to 1,000, if you're already subscribed, you're going to be entered into this contest no matter what. So if you aren't, make sure you do that. But what we want to try to do is get there as soon as possible, because I'm not going to lie to you guys. There's obviously benefits for people who do YouTube at 1,000. But honestly, one of the bigger ones that would be a benefit for you all is it allows me to go live from mobile at that point at 1,000. And we've got a season come up where I love to do a lot of stuff on campus. Now the campus Wi-Fi is spotty, but supposedly they're improving it. So I do want to make sure that we get there by that time. So just stay tuned for that and make sure that if you haven't subscribed, please do. Tell your friends. We're sitting at about like 880 right now. Want to get there as soon as possible so we can do it. So we're going to do a little contest that if you're subscribed, you're already entered, but get other people to do it as well for an opportunity to win this item. So just a little plug for you all. All right. Let's see. Wish I could call in, but working, unfortunately, I'll be listening. I appreciate you being here, though, Russell. UGA preseason national champs. We all know where that ends in a loss. Yes. When's the last time? What happened the last time UGA won a national championship? I wasn't born yet. Heading back to work. Sports with Cord. Thank you, my friend, for being here. Appreciate it. Casey, yeah, I know you tried, but at least you get your questions in this way. I think we can win the national championship this season in basketball because of how well this offseason is going. Again, Casey, I love the hyperbole, but I say national championship this year is a little bit of a stretch. Going far in the tournament, I can get on board that train. But we'll see. We'll see. Neil, if I could give you a Zeke Pike autograph, I would. I'd give it to you. No, but I think it's a player that who would be of interest to people, but not like most people, will be, like it's not like Carnell or something like that. I like it though, but I'm willing to give it up for people. Jimmy Carter was present last time UGA won. All right, everybody get your jokes in now. 82 or something like that? Or actually, when was it? I can't even remember. 1980. What has happened since last time Georgia beat, or actually won the national championship. The internet, first of all. Get Sir Charles in here since he's not commentating for NBA anymore. If I had the money to pay Sir Charles, I would, but I don't. Never met the guy. Would love to someday. Most of you know that we do a series called Auburn Roots. A new one coming out this Friday. It's on the main feed for the podcast, but you can also find it on the Auburn Roots exclusive podcast. In the description of the video, there's all the links. What time are we sitting at here? Okay, we're got about 10 minutes left. We'll do announcements at the end here in just a second, but let's keep this going. Yeah, Neil's not too far from the truth here. He had some problems. He did, and it was very sad because he was a very highly touted recruit. Seemed like another potential big pickup for Auburn. Just didn't work out. You got a Hicks Poor autograph. I promise you, I don't have either of those two, and I wouldn't give it up anyway. I'm just kidding. By the way, hey guys, I'm seeing a couple of comments come in that are referencing things that happened way long in the stream. And that means y'all are behind in the stream. Always remember to refresh every so often, especially if you're in spotty internet. That'll definitely help you stay up to date and stuff, because I'm seeing like people addressing things that were way back when we were talking about that. It just kind of struck me. I thought it was just one person having a mistake, but there's at least two of you that I think are way behind in the stream. Just a little bit of an insight there. Sad from what I heard, Zeke Pike was a jerk. I don't know. I can't specify to that. People can say a lot of things. I still feel bad for the kid. I still do. In some ways, not always. I mean, obviously, I don't feel bad for him making his own mistakes, but I hate that it didn't work out here for him. I think Auburn has two coaches in the hot seat this upcoming season, but not saying it in a mean way. I'm just saying it from the past season. Softball and gymnastics. I can get on board the softball discussion. I don't think that we need to do anything, but I understand that gymnastics, not going to be able to get on board with that. Jeff Graba's in a pretty good spot. Did you know that he was bringing in an Olympian to the program? Might want to pay attention to that. Jeff Graba's fine for the moment. I think they're both fine for the moment, but Justin, guys, and Robert, I appreciate you guys if y'all have to leave, but I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Always a great thing. We've had like 6 call-ins because Casey tried so many times, but it didn't work out. It definitely didn't. All right, here's what we're going to do. Most of you know the drill here. We're going to do last-minute announcements. Get your questions in, rapid fire, thoughts, discussion points, and we'll be back. We'll get back into those as we round out here. I do know that War Report goes live right after this. So if you are heading over there, after you leave, please do smash the like button on the way out. But also, if you're heading over there, tell them E2C Network sent you. All right, I don't have a cue card to bring up, but if you want T-shirts like this, E2C Network, or if you want T-shirts like that, the War Dustbuster. Neil, here looking at you. You can buy those on our TeePublic. You can find it by going to TeePublic / one of the slashes store / E2C Network. Or you can follow in the link. There's a sale going on. There's some other cool stuff there too that you might want to check out. All the other links in the description. The Auburn, the E2C Network Booster Club. For $1 a month, you can sign up and help support what we do here. Thank you guys so much to those of you that do that. I don't think I saw anybody in here tonight. If I did, if I missed you, I'm sorry. Or if you're in the background and we didn't hear from you, I'm sorry as well. But I wanted you to know that we're really appreciative to you all. You also do one-time donations at PayPal. But the easiest thing you can do is be here and listen to our podcast. Honestly, that's it. If you're listening to Apple Podcasts, it takes less than 5 minutes, 2 minutes really, to do an Apple podcast review. Give us whatever you think we deserve rating wise and tell us why you did that. It really will help spread the word to other Auburn fans. All right. Let's see. Back it up here. Casey, so let me help you understand gymnastics a little bit. Gymnastics is not so much about winning the match, not the games. They don't have games, they have matches. I'm going to be a stickler for that. But they do it by team scores and individual scores. Those matter just as much. Can't really compare it with other sports because it's so unique. So don't look at it that way. If that's the reason you think about Greba being potentially gone, no. He's either sent his team or individuals to the national championship consistently. He's fine. Now, other things might happen, but in terms of consistency, he's fine. Roderick says our defense will have a backbone this season. Is that implying that they didn't last year? Did they have less of a backbone? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't think so that much. I think there'll be new energy inserted into a team that very much needed in all aspects. So in that aspect, I would agree with you, sir. I don't know if they still do, but they used to train for the swimming part of the Olympics at Auburn. So they, in fact, I think they used Auburn's facility for some things in the Olympics. So they had to like drive 2 hours or stay here over in Auburn to take part in the practice part of that thing. So yes, or the actual event. Auburn's got a top-notch swimming facility. I've actually been in it. I've swam in it. It's nice. Really, really nice. When I was a student there, they would have open pool days where you can go use like their mini pool in the back. It's just a basic gymnasium pool. But then some days they'd let you go swim in the big pool. That was really nice. It's hard too, swim all those laps. What did he say about headed to what network? After this, what broadcast did he say to go to? Rodney, sorry. So there's War Report. You can go wherever you'd like, but I always, and I'll pull the curtain back. It does help our algorithm and us on YouTube to keep you watching somewhere. I'm all about full disclosure here. So that's why I say that. If you want to show YouTube, because it will help us out, that you like to stay on YouTube even after watching us, that does help us out. So War Report. It'll probably show you at the end of this. Usually it figures out what you want to watch, but War Report should be live tonight after this. That's why I go at 8, 2 minutes. Oh, they were decent, but I think we're going to take the extra step and be dominant this upcoming season. I mean, I am very hopeful for the defense this year because I think they're going to need to be the backbone. So if they didn't have one, it'd be really nice if they would, because we're going to need them this year, especially with some of the offenses that are in the SEC now. Auburn versus Georgia game will be wild. The two best defenses going up against each other. Not a lot of scoring for both teams. Maybe not. Could be, but maybe not. Rodney, I am so glad you like it here. Listen, the only reason I suggest heading over there is for those reasons, and because I'm not one of those people that like, you need to stay here, or, you can only watch here. I like spreading the love around. It's just the way I operate. I got no qualms with, sharing the love with all the other Auburn people out there. So if you want to just stay here, that is cool with me, but I want to give you options. Shows you I've got nothing to hide, right? This is the only one cool show. Well, you are very kind, and I appreciate that. You're lying, but I appreciate that so very much. All right. I think we are about done for the day. Gordon, we are just about to get out of here. But thank you. I appreciate it. First time watching, though. I guess you may have been watching anything, but I'm glad you popped in here. 3 hours next week. You want me to go 3 hours next week? Goodness gracious. Can't do that. But I will say this. We will be, obviously, the plan is to try to, as often as we can, go live every Wednesday. So I do hope that you'll be back, that you'll hang out there. I'll put the link for it and the like notification that we're going live here on the channel as early as possible so that you know that and can keep up with that. I'll have Clint back whenever he's available for show and tell time. I really think that is it, my friends. Smash the like button on the way out. Please do that. It really does help this stream out. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Please do tell your friends, invite them over here to YouTube, because we really, I know it feels like I'm just selling you something here, but if we can get to 1,000 by the end of the summer, it would be very beneficial to you, the viewers, and it would be extremely beneficial to us. No, not trying to hide anything about that, but thank you guys so much for being here tonight. And it's been an awesome stream with so many callers. And let's see. Do you think Auburn? Hold on, I bet. Yeah, I block out time to be on these live streams. Neil, you are the real MVP, my friend. You are. All right, I'll take these last little things here. Yes, hold on. Roderick, yes. Regular live every Wednesday, barring unforeseen circumstances. So I'd love to see you here every Wednesday. Do you think Auburn will make the playoffs for the first year they extend it to 12 teams? Well, that's probably likely not going to happen for 5 years. So I would say at this point, anything's possible. So yes, it is highly likely, especially if Brian Harson's successful. By that time, we should be pretty well established. So the chances that they're either a champion or one of the best at large teams getting in, highly, highly likely. Auburn's chances of making the playoff, as well as many other teams, skyrocketed. So yes, thank you all so much. War Eagle, my friends, you mean the world to me. I really, truly mean that. You are part of the best family, and that is the Auburn family. I'll talk to you again soon. War Eagle.